Why do historians prioritise primary sources over secondary sources, and why are they even rating sources in terms of primary, secondary and tertiary? Well, basically it's how far those sources are removed from events. The closer they are, the higher up the tier they are, the closer they are to primary. So if a source is actually an eyewitness account or an official document about the event compiled at the time by those involved, it's a primary source, because it's going to have the most accurate in terms of their memory of the renditions. If you then have an official report which is later compiled from that primary information, that's a secondary source and can be impacted by all sorts of interesting things. I'm talking about the Jutland report here. If you want a good example from naval history, there's the original information compiled, which says one thing, and then there's the report which is published, which says another thing. And then there's the fact that the original report writer still publishes the report as a book, because, well, why not? And because it will upset Beatty, who stopped his report being published. Those were the days. You order a report rewritten, and the original still gets published by the annoyed officer who wrote the report, because you've impugned their honour and said their report wasn't good enough because it dared to critique you. It's brilliant fun. And then tertiary is usually what historians have done based on those informations. And the thing is, why does it matter? Well, if you want to analyse the events as closely as possible, you need information from as close as possible. You need as many of those sources of information as possible, so you can try and put them in context of each other to try and find out what is the truth. Because everyone involved will have their view of the truth from their own experiences. The person in an engine room on a ship is going to have a very different perception of a battle than the person in the gun director. It's going to be a very different experience of battle, and a very different assessment will come from it. And so you need to find all these sources, put them together to try and generate that picture, the accurate picture, so we can learn what happened and we can try and understand it as fully as possible. And that's why we grade the sources, so we can work out, well, have we compiled this from primary sources, secondary or tertiary? How close have we got to the actual events? There you go.